we are going to import our model. Now, I'm using 3D Studio Max 2014 instead of a more recent version, and the reason is because Maliway 777 script was written for this specific version, and it might or might not work with more recent versions. So I didn't want to take any risk, so that's why I installed 2014. If you have a more recent version of 3ds Studio Max, you can try and see if it works. If it works, fine. If it doesn't work, then you know why. Okay. To load the script, we're gonna go to Max Script and Run Script. So I put mine in the startup folder of 3D Studio Max. You can put it wherever you want. Just remember that you're gonna have to edit, like I showed you before, the MS file to put the path where the DLL is. So you're gonna select this script here and click open, and this is the interface. So what you want to do, you want to check import skin and then click on import mesh, and here it's gonna ask you where the file to import is. So we're gonna navigate here to our folder that we just extracted. I'm gonna copy the path here, I'm gonna paste it so it's easy to access, and I'm gonna click on this file right here, pl005.mesh. This crazy number right here, and click open. So this might take a few seconds, and what it's going to do is going to import the mesh into 3D Studio Max, as well as the LODs, as well as the bones and everything you need. Alright, let's see what we got here. So we got this crazy thing going on here. We can close the script at the moment. So let's see what we get. This is what it looks like, a mess, but it all gonna make sense in a second. Let me just change here real quick to shaded. Alright, so I don't get those annoying shadow there. If I click this button here, it says schematic view. So let me close this. This is the schematic view that is gonna show me everything that it's in the scene. Now I don't like this visualization, it's a bit confusing, so I'm gonna click on this icon here, hierarchy mode, and I'm gonna press F to frame the selection, so this is a little bit easier to see. So what we have in the scene at the moment, so this long cascade of nodes here, these are all our bones, all the joints of the character, and these are very, very important. Do not touch or change or delete any of these. These are absolutely important. If you modify these, it's not gonna work. Crazy things are gonna happen, so don't touch any of these. What we're gonna focus right now is the geometry, which is all these groups here. So by default, the models are using 5 LODs, or level of details. For now, we're just gonna focus on the first one. So let's make this a little bit clearer. So we are going to select 2, 3, 4, and 5 with all the subgroup. In here, I'm gonna right click and hide selection. Okay, so that's already better. And in this case, so you can see that this is the level 1. It says here LOD group 1, which is the highest quality model, and this is what we are going to modify. Now to make my model, I don't actually need all this accessory at the moment, so what I'm gonna do, I just wanna just want to have like a silhouette of the body. So I'm going to select what I don't need. If you hold shift and click, you can do multiple selection like this and this, and I'm gonna right click, hide select. Looks like there's a tiny object here. Hide selection. So I have, okay, I have the trousers, the shirt, the arms, and I believe, oh, there this one as well. Hide selection. Okay, so let's see what we got. So I got 1, 2, and 3 objects. If you can see, this one is slightly grayed out, it means that it's hidden. So for now I'm gonna work just with these 3 objects, and I'm going to export this geometry into my modeler of choice. Now I do not know how to use 3D Studio Max. I barely know how to use it. So if you are familiar with 3D Studio Max, you can definitely model your character completely within this software. I am not familiar with it, so I'm going to export this mesh and I'm going to make my character on a separate software. Now this tutorial is not going to be about how to make the model. It's not a modeling tutorial, so I'm just going to show you how to how do I export this, and then I'm going to import my already made model in here. This is only a tutorial about how to make it work in the game. If I had to make a tutorial on how to model a character, it's going to take forever. So I'm going to select these 3 pieces here, 1, 2, and 3, and I'm going here and export and export again, and I have made an export folder here on my desktop, and I'm gonna call this Sheriff Ref. And the file format I'm gonna use just OBJ should be fine. Click save and export. So this is gonna export just the mesh, and I'm gonna use this as reference. Alright, so here I am in ZBrush. This is the software that I used to model my character. Again, this is not gonna be a tutorial on how to make a character. That would be a completely different topic. I'm just want to show you what I did so you can have an idea. So I have imported the sheriff body. As you can see, this is the same exact body that we just exported from 3D Studio Max, and I used this body as main reference. The reason is because you do want absolutely that your custom model have to match as close as possible the original model in terms of position and proportions. It doesn't have to be perfect, but you definitely want it to be as close as possible, especially things like the fingers, the joints, the placement where the elbows and knees are. You definitely want to match the original character as much as possible. I also imported Leon head just as reference, but my body is this right here. Let me show you. Alright, this is my modified body that I created. Zoom in. Alright, so I'm gonna click right here all low because I want the low poly version. There you go. I'm gonna go to here FBX export import, you do want to export in FBX, and I'm gonna show you why. So from ZBrush, I'm gonna go and check. So selected, I'm gonna go all. Actually, I'm gonna go visible because I have two subtools. I have this one and this one. So visible, binary, I want triangulated, I want smooth normals, and then I'm gonna click on export. And let's go to my export folder, and I'm gonna call this Leon Body FBX. Just gonna put underscore just to be sure. Okay, file exported. Okay, if I go into my export folder, here is the Leon Body FBX that I just exported. Now, if I try to import in 3ds Max this FBX right here, it's not gonna work. I don't know why. There must be some differences in the actual format. So what you need to do, you're gonna go to your modding tools and you're gonna use Noesis. So double click on Noesis right here. All right. And you wanna drag your Leon body or whatever you're gonna call it in here. So here is the model that we just exported. And now you right click on it and export it again. You have to export again the model from Noesis or it's not gonna work. I don't know exactly why, but that's just the way it is. So we can leave body out, that's fine as a name, but we need to change the output. So we're gonna change from OBJ to FBX, Autodesk FBX right here, and click export. All right, we don't need this anymore. And here we have Leon Body Out FBX. That's the new model. So let's go back to 3D Studio Max and import it. So from 3D Studio Max, I'm gonna click here and import, and I need to tell him what do I want to import. So this is my folder. I'm gonna copy the path again, paste it in here, enter. So this is the body out, is the one that was exported. So click this guy and click open. And I'm gonna click file content. By default you have add and update animation. I'm just gonna change it to add and leave everything else by default and click OK. Alright, so if we open again our schematic view, I have a bunch of things here, and let's see if I can show everything right there. So because I had two objects, if you remember